You are listening to FedBiz 5. I'm Miles Minich, and I do marketing for small businesses.
My name is Anthony Duttori, and I am a federal contracting consultant.
And in today's discussion, we will be talking about SAM registration. Hello, and welcome to our podcast, FedBiz 5, where you get informed, get connected, and get results. We're going to jump straight in to our topic. So we went over in the last episode about the fundamentals of federal contracting and preparing your business. So now you've investigated your market, you've evaluated your finances, and now you're able to move forward. So Anthony, what's the next step?
I'd say your next step is probably the System for Award Management, or SAM as it's more commonly referred to.
Okay, so the question is now, what is SAM?
SAM is the System for Award Management. It is a federal registration that's required if you're going to participate in the federal market. It is multi-tiered. It is a conglomeration of several other registrations where they pulled them all together to create SAM. It's a little challenging. It has many facets to it. And I should say this too, that the SAM registration is absolutely free to do on your own. The federal government encourages you to do it on your own. However, my advice is that it is well suited for a company to have that SAM done professionally, the same way a business may have their taxes done professionally. Yes, you could do it on your own, but in order to get a clear understanding of all the regulations that are embedded in there and just a good understanding of the questions, it very often is key for particularly a small business to have that done professionally. That being said, there is many facets to it. There is one of the things that are very important is to identify your industry. And that is done through what's called NAICS codes. That's NAICS codes. NAICS, it stands for North American Industry Classification System. And PSC codes, which is product and or service codes. These two coding systems, they're numeric or alphanumeric, depending. They are used to determine your industry. This alerts the federal government or the buyers, the federal buyers, as to what it is you do. The NAICS system is pretty comprehensive. It can have a tendency to be broad, and it really does help to get some assistance with that. PSC codes, while not talked about nearly as much as NAICS codes, are vital. Federal work, and when I say work, I mean goods and services, can happen very often without a NAICS code. It cannot go out without a PSC code, or at least part of a PSC code. So one of the things that people tend to neglect is that PSC registration, because it's not talked about enough. It's not, it's not bandied about the way NAICS codes are. So having some assistance with that is crucial. Additionally, once one gets into the FAR regulations, the FAR is the Federal Acquisition Regulations, and they're kind of the overriding law body that oversees federal procurement. Having a clear understanding of those FAR regulations as you're filling it out becomes very, very critical as well. A missed answer there, or and you could not only be getting yourself in trouble, but you could certainly be barring yourself from federal work.
Solid information. And with that being said, that is today's episode. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. In our next episode, we will be further discussing NAICS and PSC codes. This podcast is sponsored by FedBiz Access, government contracting made simple. For more information, visit fedbizaccess.com. That's FEDBIZ access.com. Our phone number is 877-376-4249. The extension code is 407. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.